Welcome. I just changed to handheld mode because because the battery ran out. So I was recording upside down with the internal battery, and now I have to re-record it. So today we're gonna talk about why I think the a7cR and a7C Mark II going to be a huge success for Sony, while Nikon Zf is a missed opportunity at least. A slight disappointment from me. Personally, I shot Nikon more than 20 years. I just think, I know Nikon shooters better than Nikon knows its old style photographer shooters. I think, as far as I know, all the cashed up D850 owners, the D810 owners, they're still using DSLR. They aren't looking for up-to-date, the newest and highest video specs. They don't need a ProRes. They don't need analog. Who want a raw video out of? A lot of them don't even shoot 1 second of video, and they're unlikely to change. They're all in their 50s and 60s. Or even well into their 70s and 80s. They're not gonna suddenly buy a retro style FM2 styled body and start to shoot video and start to buy a Ninja and output ProRes RAW. That's just a misalignment of what this camera is for, what the styling is for, and what's its price range. The only positive thing from the latest leak is the price going to be really affordable. It's be Z6 level of price, which is $2,000 US, which I think a little bit too cheap, if you ask me. I think those users, again, they're not beginners. Almost none of them will be beginners by a ZF full frame body. They want high megapixel because it's bragging rights. Who got the biggest engine? Who got the highest megapixels? And they want, what else they want? They want fast autofocus because their eyesights are not as good as them when they were young. And they want kind of convenient factor. Connect to their phones, easy to download images. But if you ask me about video and about bit depth and 422, I don't think they want that. And they can definitely afford about 332, 35, around R5, around that price range. I think they want a high megapixel. That's why my original prediction was using a7R4, a7R5 sensor, 60, 61 megapixels, and slow kind of, continuous shooting. You don't need high FPS, and single cut or double cuts are fine. It's not definitive. And I was predicting almost non-video spec or very basic video spec like 4K 30p max. That's it. But now the latest rumor says it's gonna have the same 4K 60p like S5 Mark II. Gonna have 4K 30, gonna have analog, RAW, and ProRes internal. I was like, basically that's a slightly improved version of Z6 II in a retro body. That's completely different to what I thought it's gonna be. Will Nikon sell some of these? Of course they will. Will them sell to, say, a beginner or a non-professional camera users? I still think it's a hard sell, right? Z6 II, the sensor, the tag are pretty old school. If someone new for similar price, if they really into video, I think S5 Mark II are better buy. S5 Mark II X are better buy. I think the R6 Mark II are better buys. I think the A7 IV are better buys, even it was announced 1.5 years ago or 2 years ago. I just feel this spec and this camera gonna be a really hard sell for what it is for beginners. And for advanced user, for Z7 owners, for Z6 owners, if you own a Z6 Mark II, there's no reason you need this camera. For a little bit better autofocus, it's still not a Canon or Sony level. What for? Why would you want a similar body for another $2,000? Even $2,000 is not that expensive. But what for? If you only want the retro styling, just get a ZF-C. If you want a full frame, get a Z6 Mark II, get Z5, get whatever you need. Get a high megapixel, get Z7 Mark II. What this camera for? I mean, I really struggle to think of a use case. You definitely need a ZF instead of all these other options. Well, on the Sony land, the latest rumor point to a 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks announcement for a7C Mark II and a7cII. I think it's a very smart move for the exact same reason. People want a second body. People don't mind slower FPS. They don't mind a lower video specs, but they want a smaller body, compact body. They can travel, they can walk around, and a high megapixel help landscapes. And Sony can do exactly the same thing they did with a7C Mark I. Put the internal of a7 IV into a a7C body and call it a7C Mark II. They will sell heaps of them. It will be priced lower than a7 IV because it's cheaper to manufacture, and you don't need to change much. It's a proven formula to be successful. Why would you want to change it? Right? With a7cII, they put a7 R4 or R5 61 megapixel sensors, and then they can charge a lot more. Sell 3,000, 3,200. They will sell heaps, because not every landscape photographer need all this a7 R5 AI autofocus, 8K video and all that. Yeah, just can all of these, give a small, compact, lightweight body, keep the same battery, and low ISO, megapixel, high image quality. They will sell. What Nikon does is just neither of the two. It's kind of a fast autofocusing, fast FPS in a very brick-like FM2 style flat body, very ergonomic, unfriendly, and they hope to sell to enthusiasts, photographer, to be a little bit disrespectful. Those old dinosaurs, they don't like video. That's just my take. Alright, enough talk. I will go away, and next episode will be very exciting. I got a new lens to show you guys and why I think that's the best compact camera of choice. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.